Hi guys, welcome to my channel. For today's video, I'm going to be doing something new. I'm going to be doing a review, first impressions, and tutorial all compiled together in one video on the new Jeffree Star and Shane collaboration palette. This is the mini controversy palette, and I really dived in and gave my full opinions, thoughts, and first impressions on this palette today, along with some swatches. If you want to see how I achieved this purple smoky eye using the Jeffree Star and Shane mini controversy palette right here, just keep watching. I'm thinking first and foremost I want to use this shade called Cry on My Couch, which looks like a really nice creamy light pale skin tone shade. It's more of a neutral. It's not really leaning warm or cool for me right now. So let's see how this light creamy shade picks up on my fluffy eye blender brush. This is an e.l.f. brush. It's just a nice big synthetic brush to apply transition shades or anything all over the lid. So let's see how she picks up, okay? Ooh, yeah, good, good. I really like that a lot of pigment came off on the brush, but there was not a lot of fallout. There is a little bit, but that is so minimal. Let's just apply this shade mainly to the crease, but it'll probably go onto the brow bone a little bit as well. So although I had already applied some concealer to my eyelids and I already had that as a base to work with, the concealer was not 100% opaque, and I did have a little bit of veining still present on my eyes. And I noticed that whenever I applied this shade directly over top, it's actually canceled out a lot of that blue and purple veining that I had peeking through on my eyelid. So now to really amp up this look, it's time to start building up the transition in our crease. So now I'm going to switch over to a Morphe synthetic blending brush, and I'm going to take the shade Diet Root Beer, the centermost shade, this medium toned warm brown, and as you can see, it's consistent with the shade Cry on My Couch. There was not much fallout whenever I tapped my brush in there. So let's start to build this up in our crease. I'm just going to look straight forward here so that I can see where my natural crease is, right here. And I'm going to apply this in the center of my lid, in the center of my crease here. It's already blending so seamlessly. I'm just using a pretty simple eyeshadow blending technique for this, back and forth, like a windshield wiper. And then whenever I get here to the inner corner of my crease, I'm going to switch up and do these circular type motions to help blend it further inward. This is also going to help us whenever we finish contouring the nose, and it's going to give us something to connect that color to. So I'll end up taking my nose contour from here up and into the crease, and it'll just create this seamless looking nose contour. So circular type motions here in the inner corner of the crease, and then out here in the middle of the lid and outer corner, just stick to those back and forth windshield wiper motions. No complaints so far. This is blending beautifully. Even before, when I initially went in with this shade, I wasn't for sure how it would perform and if there would be any fallout. I'm not familiar with the Jeffree Star Cosmetics eyeshadow formula. I have tried his liquid lipsticks and they are one of my favorites in my collection, but I have not tried their eyeshadows yet, and oh my gosh, I'm impressed already. The blendability is perfect. Let's just go back in with that e.l.f. brush we used at the very beginning with a tad more of Cry on My Couch. And I'm gonna use that where the brown shade Diet Root Beer meets the brow bone, just to make it very, very soft. So I'm happy with the way this shade Diet Root Beer is looking in my crease so far. I'm gonna go ahead and do the other eye off camera real quick, so I can figure out where I want to take this look, and I'll be right back. So from here, I'm not sure where I want to go. I always have to lay down a transition in the crease to kind of get an idea of where I want to take the look. So I'm gonna swatch My Boyfriend's Purse and My Apology, these two here, and see what I want to do here. Here's My Boyfriend's Purse, where it's kind of like a taupey gray. It's almost like not even there. It's kind of see-through. It makes like a really cool shift effect. I think it would be cooler over a different eyeshadow. So let's swatch My Apology here, which looks like a cranberry-esque warm cranberry, warm deep cranberry shimmer shade. Ooh, that one's just really speaking to me, especially for fall. So I think what I'm gonna do next is build up that shade My Apology here on the outer corner in like a V shape, like I would for a winged eyeliner, and then possibly bring it in the crease a little bit. We'll see. So I'm first gonna take that shade My Apology on an e.l.f. detail crease brush. So this is a more precise, defined crease brush. It's good for precision work and blending out cut creases. All right, so let's take My Apology. This is the first shimmer shade I've used in this palette, but as I'm picking it up here on my brush, I'm noticing the same things I noticed with the first two matte shades, that a lot of pigment really comes off on the brush, but not a lot comes off on the pan. So again, not a lot of fallout. Let's start by applying this in the outer corner of the crease, and then drag it out here in like a C shape to just start building it up. This brush is great because you can precisely apply a shade where you want it, and then you can proceed to blend it out. I'm noticing the slightest amount of fallout, and I think it's just the shimmer properties in this shade, but I have to get extremely close to my mirror to even be able to see it. And even still, I bet if I take my face brush, it'll sweep right off. Watch. Let's test it out here. Yeah, just as I expected. My under eye area I had set with a translucent powder, but I'm just taking my under eye setting brush and swooping it off, and any fallout that was there, albeit minimal, is gone. So let's just continue to apply this shade My Apology in the crease in a C shape and blend it out. So I'm really happy and really loving the way this shade My Apology is blending out and diffusing, especially into the matte shades. Whenever you're using a palette and you're blending matte shades with shimmer or metallic shades, you really can never account for what might happen. They might blend like shit together, or they might blend seamlessly, and I'm so excited and happy to say that the shimmers and mattes in this palette, although I've only tried 3 shades total, that is a third of the palette, and so far they are blending together like a dream. And then I'm gonna take just a hair more of that shade Diet Root Beer on the same little fluffy brush and blend that over top of where that shade My Apology meets the brown that we applied initially. I mainly just want to tie in the warmth that we had originally in the crease back into this look, but it's also going to help to blend out that shade My Apology even more. I think before I finish up the upper lids, I want to incorporate some more of this warm mid-tone brown and shade My Apology, the cranberry, on my lower lash line as well, and then we'll go from there. So to lay down a nice base, let's go in with Cry on My Couch, the shade we started off with initially, and let's apply that on the underside of the lids. We're pretty much gonna repeat the same steps that we did on the upper lid to build up this warm smokiness on the lower lash line as well. And then on the same brush, let's go in with Diet Root Beer and apply this to the outer corner. I'm applying it to the outer corner and meeting it with the purple shade that we applied right here, just connecting them right there at the outer corner of my eye. Now that I have that base warmth built up on the lower lash line from inner corner to outer corner where it meets the purple that we applied up here, I'm going to deepen it up with more of the purple shade My Apology. And I'm going to limit this shade just to the outer corner and connect it right here. To do this, I'm going to use a small, fine, detailed brush. This is the Morphe 36. It's almost completely rubbed off to where I can't even read the product number. It's one of my most used brushes and one of my favorites to smoke out the lower lash line. So let's keep this product concentrated just here in the outer corner. Now let's blend out that cranberry shade with more of Diet Root Beer. And I'm using another tapered brush. These are just my favorite type of brushes to have in my makeup collection. So I have one from every brand and every style. This is an e.l.f. version. And I'm just gonna take Diet Root Beer and smoke out that shade My Apology. I don't want there to be any definitive lines where the shade My Apology stops and the shade Diet Root Beer starts. So I'm blending Diet Root Beer on top of and also below My Apology. Don't be afraid to really smoke it out. It's gonna help to open up the eyes. Let's give our face a little mist, little rehydration here. I think next up for this look, I want to cut the crease. I think that would be nice and dramatic and also a cool way to incorporate one of these light matte shades all over the lid. I'm leaning towards using this pastel purple exposed, and I'm thinking I'll just cut the crease and then put this either on the very center of the inner corner of my lid or in the middle. We'll see, but I want to incorporate these two matte purples since this whole look is leaning a bit more purplish. So when I cut my crease, I like to use a full coverage concealer, something that's really nice and creamy and opaque that's going to serve as a good base for an eyeshadow, but also that's going to cancel out any existing color. And so to cut my crease recently, I've really been loving to use e.l.f.'s 16-hour Camo Concealer. This is a total dupe for the Tarte Shape Tape, but at a much more affordable price point, and it's also cruelty-free and vegan. So if you haven't tried this stuff, try it. It's like $4, I think, $4 or $5, and I got mine at Target. So to make sure that it's nice and light, I'm probably gonna take mostly the shade Fair Warm with probably a touch of this medium peach. Just gonna take a mixture of the two of them on the back of my hand here. So here's what they look like just straight off of the wand. You really don't need much. And then to cut the crease, I prefer to use a very thin definer brush, preferably one that has a rounded tip or a tapered pointy tip. This one has a flat edge and it works just as well. So load up the tip of that brush with your concealer, and then you're gonna wanna look straight ahead in your mirror. Find where your natural crease is, which for me is right in here. And you're gonna wanna start by just placing your brush in the center of your lid where your natural crease is. So find that natural crease. Start to paint on the concealer with that brush and then look straight forward and up. And some of that concealer is going to transfer up on your eyelid when you look up, and that's going to provide a nice guide for the cut crease. So then just drag the concealer down on your lid. Load up your brush with a little bit more and continue to create a curved U shape just above your natural crease. From inner corner to outer corner. And don't worry about making it perfect straight off the bat. We can always go in with a little more. Then I'm going to take my ring finger or your pinky finger and just use the warmth to blend out the concealer on your lid. If your concealer is super dry already and not creamy, it's not going to want to blend over top of shadows that you have on your lid. And you may need to go in with a makeup remover and remove any pre-existing shadow on the lid before you cut the crease. This e.l.f. concealer, however, is extremely creamy and it glides perfectly with or without eyeshadow underneath of it. And that's why I recommend using this concealer to cut the crease. Plus it's like $4 or $5, so you really can't go wrong. They also have a variety of shades from extremely fair alabaster skin to the deepest, darkest, richest cocoa of complexion. So try it out. You have nothing to lose. Try it out. So once I have a nice rough outline for the cut crease that I've used my natural crease shape as a guide to create, I'm then just gonna keep looking straight ahead, straight forward in my mirror, and I'm gonna cut further up into the crease. I'm even going to go back in on this eye and touch it up a bit, cutting the crease even further to really match this eye. So that's looking pretty good right now. I'm going to go back in with more of that Diet Root Beer shade and blend it just above the cut crease, because some of that original pigment was lost whenever I cut the crease. So just taking care to keep this outside of the margin of that cut crease. And I'm using that same Morphe brush that we started out blending this shade with in the crease to really incorporate this all around the eye, and especially here in the inner corner. That's gonna add a lot of definition and drama. I'm going to bring that outer corner color back over top of the cut crease so that it looks a little more seamless and blended, and like you really can't tell where the cut crease stops and that cranberry shade, my apology, starts. So this time let's take a flat brush just to see how it performs, you know. This is a Sephora brush, a Sephora Shadow number 25 flat definer brush. And I'm gonna take more of that shade My Apology and really put it here on the outer corner in this diagonal shape. And then I'm gonna combine My Apology with Controversy, the other tea kettle shade. So this is going to create a combination of a deep cranberry with a hint of bright purple. So I'm going to apply those over top of where I ended with just My Apology by itself, and then take Controversy alone this time and put it just on the very edge for a real pop of purple. This is going to be so complementary to green eyes, hazel eyes, blue eyes, every eyes. Just having this pop of purple right above the eyeball itself is going to look so good and really draw a lot more attention to an otherwise neutral look. Now that I have that beautiful purple shade Controversy laid down and blended out on the eye, I'm going to take the shade beneath it, Exposed, light pastel lilac purple. And this shade Exposed is a matte finish as well. And I'm going to take it, load it up on that same Sephora brush, and apply it to the inner corner of the eye. You can also take a clean blending brush over top of the edges where those two matte purples meet if you want a very seamless blended look. I love the way this is turning out so far. Take some more of Cry on My Couch and put that on the very center of the innermost corner, right over top of Exposed. Having this light shade right in the center of this cut crease in the inner corner of my eye is going to really make this cut crease pop and stand out, because it's very bright and contrasting to that matte brown in the crease. So it's just a little bit more drawing to the eye. Now let's do the same thing on the other eye. So I'm loving how this purple eye look is turning out. I think I want to bring a little bit more pop of purple to the lower lash line as well. So let's mix Exposed and Controversy. I'm just gonna pop it mainly on this inner corner so that it gives the lower lash line a bit more purple feel. Don't be afraid to smoke it out. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. Let's take a little more of My Apology. And then before I blend it out, I'm gonna spray my brush to help those metallic properties, those metallic and shimmer properties stick a little better. Hopefully this time it won't flip up into my eye. There we go. Much better. And then blend that out. And then let's take more of Cry on My Couch on the big fluffy e.l.f. brush we started out with and blend out this entire under eye. Just look up and blend it all out. And a little more Exposed just on the very center of this lower lash line for a matte purple highlight. Blend it out one last time. So I think we're actually finished using the mini Controversy palette. Oh wow, I'm loving how this eye look is turning out. Let's keep it rolling. Let's do some liner and then false lashes. So as per usual, I'm gonna go in with my NYX gel liner and smudger in the shade Black. This is one of my favorite gel liners to use for a winged eye or for any eyeliner in general. It's just super black, super creamy and opaque, and it applies beautifully. I like to use it on either an angled liner brush or something more along the lines of this, just a fine detailed brush. I'll generally just load it up and go straight in. And I'm gonna start out by just lining my upper lid. And I'm not gonna bring it all the way into this inner corner because I wanna really take advantage of the cut crease and I want this purple to really pop at the end. So I'm gonna start at the outer corner of my eye and work my way inward. And then I'm gonna smudge it out to give a softer look using this Sephora Pro Smudge Brush number 11. And I'm gonna smudge out that gel liner close to my lash line, making sure not to bring it up too far because I don't want to cover up that beautiful eyeshadow. I just want to create a softer feel to this gel liner. And then here on the outer corner, I'm changing how I'm holding the brush and pulling it upwards from the outer corner in a wing shape. Now I'm going to extend this wing out from my outer corner up towards the tail of my brow. So I'm changing the way I'm holding the brush and I'm making it a little easier for myself to really pinpoint and drag it up from the outer corner here. And again, just smudge out that wing you've just created. I'm going to take some more of that gel liner and apply it to the upper waterline here. Just going to sharpen up that wing with a little bit of concealer where it got a little craggy. Same brush and concealer that I used to cut the crease. So using this gel liner is really great because it provides a nice base if you do want to go in with a liquid liner, because gel liner is much more forgiving. So a lot of times if I want a really sharp liner, I want to use a matte liquid liner. So this is NYX's matte liquid liner and it's also the black shade. And I'm just going to go over what I've already drawn here with that gel liner, building up that wing very slowly because one wrong move and this can all be ruined. Perfect, now let's just do the other eye and we'll finish up with some false lashes. Perfect. Now, what are we gonna do for falsies today? I want something that's dramatic and complementary to this cat winged eye, but something that's a little bit more mild and moderate here. in the inner corner because I want this purple to really shine through. I don't want something with too thick of a lash band or something that's too just voluptuous here in the inner corner that's gonna block out that purple. So I decided to go with the chiffon style of the Kiss lashes from this original holiday set, All Eyes on You, that I got from Ulta. And they're gorgeous. They are so fluffy. They're exactly what I wanted for this look. Something long and dramatic and wispy that's going to call attention to the eyes, that are a little heavier on the outer corners but still sparse enough on the inner corners to really show off that purple. I'm going to apply some mascara now to my bottom lashes, but also to my top lashes to help mend my natural with the falsies. And then I'm going to apply more gel liner to the inner rim of my lower lash line. I'm just going to tie in my nose contour now with that initial brown shade, that Diet Root Beer shade that we applied in the crease earlier. Looking straight ahead in my mirror, I'm going to connect that brown shade in my inner corner crease down on my nose. I think now all that's left to do is finish this look off with a lip color, and I have to commemorate Jeffree Star in this video. We have to use one of his velour liquid lipsticks. I do have my own collection of Jeffree Star liquid lips here, and so I'm going to choose something here. I'm just not entirely sure what I want to go for. Definitely a light pink nude to complement this eye look. Right now I'm looking at Mannequin, which is a light pale nude, Gemini, which is a mid-tone or deep, depending on how fair you are, nude brown. And then we also have Rose Madder, which is my all-time favorite nude pink to wear. So I'm probably gonna do like Rose Madder mixed with Mannequin in the center. I'm going to first line my lips with ColourPop's Lippy Pencil. This is the shade Bumble, which is a mid-toned warm brown. So I'm going to start off with Jeffree Star Rose Madder Velour Liquid Lipstick. Give it a good mix up because it's been a little while since I used it last. Still smells amazing. Jeffree has one of my favorite, I'm just going to say it, my favorite liquid lipstick formula. It's just perfect. It doesn't settle into the cracks and crevices in your lips. If you're someone like me who doesn't have lip filler and you're just trying to fake the look of a plumper, poutier lip, it's just my favorite formula. It smells amazing, long lasting, all around perfection. And then I'm gonna pop Mannequin in the center and blend it out a good bit because I want this to be an overall nude lip with just a touch of pink. And I'm just gonna blot it out with my finger. And I think I want to top this lip off with just a little bit of gloss to add a little extra poutiness and plumpness to the center of the lips, especially since there's mostly matte shadows going on the lid. I want to bring some more drama and attention to these puppies. And I'm trying out a new one today that I just picked up from Target from Milani. This is their, what's it called? Keep It Full Nourishing Lip Plumper in the shade Gold Dust, and it's this beautiful light gold with lots of shimmer in it. Has lots of gold and champagne shimmer and glitter throughout. So let's just pop this on the center of our lips. It has a very familiar scent. It's like a light vanilla. I think it's actually reminding me a lot of Buxom's lip plumping gloss. I don't know if that's just because the name already has me thinking of Buxom, but it smells delightful. I love the way it smells. I think I'm just gonna keep this gloss right in the center of the lip so it's not overly glossy, as if there is such a thing. I just want it to be a light gloss that's gonna catch the light. Maybe just a hair more. So yeah, this look is actually complete. No, I'm gonna apply some highlighter actually. Just freshen up the skin. I'm gonna apply a little bit more of Gold Digger Diamond Glow Powder from Artist Couture right in the center of my eyes here to give a nice pop and highlight. I want that inner corner to shine. Since this is a mostly matte look, I'm gonna bring some attention there. And that looks beautiful. A little on my nose too. Center of my nose, the bridge of my nose, tip of my nose. You get it. So I think as much as I like this lip color, it's just not doing it for me for this look. So I'm gonna scrap it. No big deal. It's gonna leave our lips with a nice stained look. Just go back over with your beauty sponge. It's gonna have some residual foundation on it. Block out the lips a little bit. And then I think what I'm gonna do is just go in with Mannequin alone. I think I'll start out with Rose Madder for a little bit more pinkness. But I think it was just overall a little bit too deep of a lip for this look. Now let's go in with Mannequin to lighten this up. I definitely think this light nude pink is a better, more complementary lip to this eye look. I liked the previous nude pink lip, but it was just a little too deep for my liking, and I feel like this is more complementary to the light purple and also to the pink I'm wearing. So to each their own, wear whatever lip shade you want. You could even wear a purple lip if you want. I might still do just a little bit of gloss. Oh yeah. This is more what I was feeling originally. Perfect. Exactly what I wanted. So guys, this is the finished look. What do you think? I love how it turned out. It's a beautiful purple, brown, smoky eye, perfect for fall, perfect for all year round. I really had a lot of fun playing with the Jeffree Star and Shane collaboration. The shades themselves are extremely pigmented. I had minimal, if any, fallout whenever I was dipping my brush into each of these shades, which is amazing because what's worse than paying, your precious money for a palette and then all of it falling out, and then it just feels wasteful, So it feels good to know that with this palette, you're getting the most for your money, really. I think the color story is really well thought out. I was able to use all but, I think, 4 of the shades in here to create this look. I used all but the 3 blue shades and then this one silvery taupe shade in the corner. Well worth the money, extremely cute. It feels very expensive. It's heavy in your hand. It doesn't feel like a cheap cardboard package that any company could just produce and whip out. And I can't wait to use this palette in the future in day-to-day looks and here on camera. I really want to dive into these blue shades. Since I didn't use them in today's tutorial, let me swatch them here for you. This shade is Flat Earth, which is a light pastel baby blue, and it actually has a lot of gray in it as well. It feels very creamy. It has a very similar texture to the other matte shades in the palette, so again, very consistent. Whenever you purchase this palette, you're getting consistent formulas throughout all the mattes and throughout all the shimmers. I think it will work perfectly with the other blue shades in this palette to create any type of blue eye look you wanted to. So this next shade is Canceled, which is the mid-toned matte blue. Let's apply that right next to Flat Earth. Again, those shades would work beautifully together for a blue smoky eye. And then last but not least of the blue shades, we have the Simulation down here in the right corner of the palette, which is very complementary to the shade Canceled right next to it. The Simulation is maybe 2 shades deeper and it's a shimmery version of Canceled. And you can see here, this is what I was saying about consistency and that this palette is extremely well thought through, because look, those 3 shades right there are a look in themselves. So if you were considering getting your hands on this palette, I 100% recommend it. I love the size. The Conspiracy palette is a big mamma jamma. I can't wait to get my hands on it as well. But this is perfect for those of you who really don't want the over-the-top packaging. You want something more small, compact, easy to travel with 100%, and all around gorgeous, well thought out. I feel like whenever you get a palette today, sometimes they're over the top and you feel like, oh, what am I going to do with this palette? What am I going to do with all of these rainbow shades? If you're someone like me who loves color and loves to play with rainbow pops of color on the eyes, then that's heaven. But if not, you want something a little more practical, wearable for day-to-day occasions, and I think this palette is just it. So get your hands on it. I couldn't be more happy with it, and I 100% recommend it. What did you guys think about how this look turned out? Let me know in the comments below. The Conspiracy palette should be coming in the mail hopefully this week. It hasn't even shipped yet, but a girl can hope. But you know, whenever that palette is here in my hands and I can play with it, I will be playing with it. I'll be doing tutorials with it, and get ready. Honestly, for me, between the mini Controversy palette and the Conspiracy palette, I was more excited about the big Conspiracy palette, not just because of the number of shades that it has, but because of the packaging. But honestly, I'm 100% so impressed with this palette, and I was not let down in the slightest. So it's gorgeous. I love everything from the packaging, the graphics, the mirror, of course, and the shadows themselves with the individual stamps in each of the pans. Thank you guys so much for watching today's first impressions slash tutorial slash review of the new Jeffree Star and Shane Mini Controversy palette. Make sure to sign off below in the comments section so that I can get your thoughts and opinions on today's look. While you're here, consider subscribing for more makeup tutorials, first impressions, review, and swatch videos. And I'll see you on the next one. Bye, guys. I'm so happy with the way the shadows performed in the Mini Conspiracy palette. Controversy, bitch. Where do we want to take the look from here? I could not be more pleased with how not only the matte, but also the metallic, what went behind this, what the f. I'm tired. I'm just spitting rubbish.